Welcome back, peeps. So, episode 2 of the Peugeot 3008 sound system upgrade. From the first episode, I managed to install the sound deadening and whatnot. So now I've got two options here that to go do the speakers or install the 4-channel amplifier, well, wiring and whatnot. So this is the plug and play harness, should be for this new model, for this Headunit, for this car. And I'm using the ESX 4-channel amp to power all this prettiness, all these speakers that are going to be going in. So I remember from the last time when I was working on a Peugeot, there were signals messed up, the front wasn't getting full range and rear was getting full range, so I had to swap fronts and rears to get the good quality sound in the front. To be fair, that's what I am gonna do. I'm about to find out whether we're about to find out where this Headunit lives, and I do, excuse me about the noise. This has been the newest car I've had and the most amount of fucking noise that I've had here in the unit to try and record something. So hopefully you can hear me well. And so basically, where does the Headunit live in this 3008 2025? So the Headunit lives, believe me or not, it lives there in your center console. And to get to the bloody center console to get a Headunit, it is going to be quite of a mission. So first of all, press my freaking thing again. You need to go under there. I'm going to put the light on. Under there, grab this panel, pull that off. Well, I already had pulled it off before, like so. That way I can get in here so easy, but they're all on sort of clips. No. So I need to get things off, and then see that shiny thing there. Press the stupid button again. So there is the Headunit there, just up in there. And you don't have enough space to unplug anything from there. Actually, there might be. If I disconnect these metal pieces, I might be able to get in there. So give me 2 seconds. Well, the car is dead. Obviously, turn the car off altogether. I'm gonna pop this plastic thing off. And I'm going to try taking them 13mm nuts and bolts off, and that air pipe, air ducting. I want to see if I can get there to remove that, so I can plug in this. So I can plug this in here. So give us 2 seconds, wish me luck, because I kind of don't fancy taking this whole dashboard apart just to install that one cable, if I can. But if I'll have to, obviously I will do. So yeah, let's get it on. Alright then, so panel is off, that pipe is off, these bolts are up. Well, pretty much you kind of can leave this one there, doesn't do anything. That bracket there, I did have to bend it, but it will bend back, and it's nothing really structural or nothing, so don't be afraid of doing. I know it's a 2025 car, but sometimes you've got to bend the rules. Then you're looking for this blue connector, which is right on the top up in there. This one here that I've already plugged in into my new wiring harness. And all you pretty much got left to do is to plug this back into the Headunit, yeah. And then unfortunately these cables here, all of them, them there. They need to be sent that way because there's no really room in here for them to go. I already went on this way, did exactly the same. Tool like this will come in absolutely handy, something long, because to get in here to pray these clips off, sometimes someone can't even see. This stuff is this was absolutely amazing. And also this tool was absolutely amazing to do the sound deadening as well, to get it into like crappy corners and whatnot. So from here there's enough gap here to feed those cables. There's plenty of room. And then if you really wanted to, you can actually just install your amp in there, because that's what I was thinking it is going to be going. Because I can't see why not. It's not in the way of anything. Everything is spot on. It's not in the way. Feed all the excess cable underneath, under the whole compartment, and basically yeah, that's that's pretty much it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna disconnect this wiring from here to make my life easier. I'm gonna plug all this into here. I'm gonna plug all that into there, and basically just send the first one, thick one, through there, and then I can easily just pull it through. Obviously, don't forget to plug your other side of the harness in, because then the Headunit won't work. But that's pretty much going to be the 4-channel amp install. Just like that, peeps. This is all back in. That cable is all installed there. It's all going in. As you can see, brackets back in, everything is back in exactly the same place. All I've got left to do is just put that air vent to go to back and put this panel back on, and that's the wiring is installed. Fingers crossed. Jesus Christ. I wish it was that easy the last time when I was doing the Peugeot 308 or something like that. So this is where it comes out of there. This whole thing is here, and then basically what you can do is you can just stuff this amp in there and just, come on, little sausage, here we go. The amp goes there. All the cable will more than likely fit under all that business and that gap, and there you have it. Just put all the panels back together, and that's the 4-channel is installed. But since I am still installing the subwoofer and stuff like that, I still need this thing out, and I still need to tune the speakers, tune the tweeters, front doors and rear doors. I need to swap things and whatnot. I still need this thing out. The next job now is really, well, this is, if you wouldn't be installing anything, you know what I'm actually gonna do? I'm gonna put a live back onto the car, and I'm gonna check the outputs on tweeters. I've already determined which are positive, which are negative. So on the front door, it's for both sides exactly the same, front and rear. So front, for the tweeter, positive is pink, the darkest green, well, the green one is negative. But when you go to the bottom, white is negative, the green is positive. Same goes for the other door. And then on the rear, same goes for the other door as well. It's only one cable here anyways. Grey is positive and blue is negative. So there you go. That's it. That's I'm sorted. I'm ready. I'm really kind of ready now to even put the back speakers in, sort all the cablings out and everything, because back ones are pretty damn easy. So back speakers. And this is the old speaker mount. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put sound deadening all over there to kill all these holes and make a decent connection. These are pretty strong, not like you're running 100,000 watts, and these go in perfectly fine, and they will just screw into the plastic without any. You won't be able to hit the factory holes, but it will go in here without a doubt. All you've got to do is you can either run a cable underneath for the speakers or drill a tiny hole to feed the cables in. I'm gonna have to make up some wiring because the old one got knackered. But the front ones are the pain because I'm gonna have to fabricate bottom plate and then some MDF rings stacked up to actually bring the speaker as close as possible to the door cord so it doesn't play in the door cord or stuff like that. Although we've got all this foam in here which is gonna help prevent from sound really sort of resonating and going all over the place and sounding horrible. It's actually gonna go through the grill, but that's why I need to bring this as close as I possibly can. I know this is on an angle, I think it's like 10-degree angle maybe, something like that, but I wouldn't be able to replicate that unfortunately, although it's going to be much better than screwing the speaker to the door, because I am bringing it out as far as I possibly can so that the door cord fits flush and stuff like that. There is no, at the moment while I'm recording this video, there is no speaker adapter rings for this car yet, because it's beginning of 2025, the car, and it's like past end of 2025 now. I'm doing a system upgrade, so it's literally like, well, half a year maybe. This car's just come out, so they still don't really have like a speaker upgrade for them yet. We're doing an upgrade, but there isn't like parts and stuff like that. The cable, power cable, the adapter has just really come out as well. Literally maybe it's a month ago when I was booking this car in, because that cable, power cable, did exist last year, but there was no such a adapter, so I had to do stuff myself. I had to hardwire an amplifier in, and it was just giving me more and more hassle to actually get it done. Where with this one, you don't even need to run separate power on the ground for the amp itself, unless you really need to. I've installed these setups in very many cars. This amplifier, for an example, there's been BMWs, there's been Mercs, and Minis, which have the same sort of plug and play system. And this amp performs perfectly fine, because if you do look at those cables that come out of that, comes to the head, you know, they are literally pretty much just as thick as the 10 gauge wire that I would be installing. So like I say, if you do really want to, you can install separate ground and positive, but I have been installing these amps for over a year now, probably 2 now, never had an issue. Unless you literally get like a cable thin as pipsqueak, then yes, I would consider. Although it's not necessarily if you've got nice thick cables going to the. Some cars, yes, some cars do supply like really thin ones, so you possibly would want to give them proper power, but proper power supply. But in this case, with this car, I'm pleased to see that a manufacturer actually used decent thick cable for power supply to go into the Headunit. So that gives me one less problem. Well, takes one less problem away from me. Right then, so that's really for amplifier stuff is covered. Like I'm saying, I'm gonna give the power now, and I'm gonna check what the tweeter exit sounds, what the subwoofer exit sounds and what the rear speakers are gonna sound, just to double check that I don't have to do any switcheroos anymore, because I'd rather figure it out now than at the very end of the build when everything is in and I've got to take things apart again. So bear with us, I'm gonna go find that one out in a second. Well peeps, look, I am blessed because that tweeter on the front sounds exactly the same how the tweeter sounds in the back. So there's no difference that tweeter output has been messed with. So yeah, that is really a good thing, because I don't have to now mess around with any outputs to go in and out and back and forth and whatnot, honestly. So I am happy. I am really happy that that has happened in this car, and and yeah, pretty much that's it really for the 4-channel amp install. So looks like it's sending the right signal to the right speakers at the right places and the right stuff. But like I said, I just have to still set the gains up and everything separately properly, because it was a little bit different from one to the other one. Right then peeps, but to be fair, I am gonna end the part 2 at the 4-channel amp sound installation, because I think this is really important, and it's gonna be just in one episode. Episode 3 is gonna be about making these speaker rings, fitting them. I'm actually gonna have to pop out, get some actually I might have some short 10mm bolts. I can't remember now. I don't need that. Oh yeah, I've got some of these little screws, so because I'm gonna need them to attach the speaker rings back onto the door. I might actually need a 10mm one, not the 8mm, but we shall find that one out in the part 3 peeps. So there you go. Yeah, no noise, but what can I do? But right, all I'm gonna say is thanks a lot for watching. Like and share, subscribe, and I'll see you in episode 3 of this Peugeot 3008. Bye bye.